recording. Ba ba ba.
I am recording. Ba ba ba.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 530th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I am your host, Steve. With me is Will.
I am so... hangover is not the right word for it, but I had way too much Mid-Autumn Festival yesterday, and I'm recovering from too many mooncakes. I bought the wrong sampler platter of mooncakes, and I still have to eat them because they ain't cheap.
No, where did you go?
So the Chinese market by my house didn't have mooncakes, but there was a Vietnamese market in Savage that had a good number of them. Yep. But the problem was they didn't tell you what kind of mooncakes were inside, except they had numbers stamped on them. And I have later found out that the numbers indicated what mooncakes were inside. And I was like, let me get a sampler, which, is 4 different mooncakes. Fine.
A flight of mooncakes?
Yeah. No, I mean...
Yeah, it's a flight.
And, I mean, so far, one I had was Lotus Seed, which is good because I like Lotus Seed. But one I had was... This is going to sound so weird to people who don't know what I'm talking about. But... the second one I've tried is mung bean and durian. And I like durian on its own. I don't like durian when it's with something else. So I was like, just
I don't know how that would
taste.
Peanut butter and chocolate.
I mean, sure. Have you never tasted durian?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a fruit.
Look who you were talking to. Have you ever tasted durian? Do they have it at McDonald's? Is it a monthly shit?
Yes.
Then no.
Is it on the dollar menu? If it's on the dollar menu, then yes, I've had it.
It's a very unique fruit that has it's very like custardy, but you can get durian candy. You can get durian anything. But I think to me it's kind of like cilantro. Where like some people eat durian and they're like, I really like this, and some people eat it and they just like hate it. I think
Well, the cilantro thing is genetic because you genetically will make it taste like soap.
I think if you could imagine making a candy out of onion,
yeah,
I think that's the best way that I could describe durian. But it's like also like pudding-ish.
Have you ever seen a person just eat a sweet Vidalia onion like an apple? No. That is the wildest thing to me. And every time it happens, I don't know what universe I'm in anymore.
But yeah, that's I was celebrating the full moon last night, and here I am today.
That Clefairy event.
That was part of it.
Greg here.
Okay, everybody, mark the podcast. I am going to officially state Steve was right. Pokemon Masters Trainers Lodge is a dating sim. I have gotten further in it, and I'm now going on special outings with these people, and I'm officially now dating Cynthia and Professor Sycamore and Rosa. I don't know how to balance these people in my life. It's gotten real weird in there.
Tinder has some competition.
The Cynthia interaction was so weird, and I'm like, there's no way to read this. I mean, there is. Like, you're becoming really good friends, but I'm like, if you're an adult, this is date stuff. We're on a date. She wants to take me on a special outing to a beach.
Is this like the really good friends of like making somebody a close friend on Instagram stories kind of friends?
No, because that means you're showing him naughty pictures.
That's not true.
So we've all seen that TikTok, right?
Yeah.
That's got around because that's not how I was using it. I was just like,
I mean, you're
I think
missing
there is
out.
some like, what am I? Not malicious. Malicious would like when you upload a friend story and it turns green, that it turns green for them, which means like, hey, I haven't seen Greg look at my stories in a while, but I bet he'll look at it if it's green.
No.
The only people who are
so here's
green
the
on
thing.
my Instagram are people who are like, they don't like to put pictures of themselves, but they will do a picture of like a selfie for friends only.
Yeah. So the wild thing about Instagram right now is the feed is so bad that people will put pictures that are in their feed, in their stories, so that you know they posted something. So most of the time I don't look at stories because I'm like, oh, this is in your feed. And if it's a green, then I have to balance how much in public am right now, because I don't know what's going to happen when I open that story.
No, my green has always been really boring. It's always just like,
Well, you lack spice. Not everybody I follow and am friends with lacks spice.
my Instagram experience is like 90% stories, 10% posting.
Yeah, because they want to make Instagram TikTok.
Basically.
No, but stories have existed well before I was using
Yeah,
TikTok,
but
and
they've
I was
changed-
always using stories too.
They pretty much changed the algorithm so that they are now showing stories and videos in your feed over pictures. So there's a lot of people who are really mad at Instagram because Instagram is taking a TikTok viewpoint.
Yeah, but
so to
no,
speak.
I saw all that, and then the CEO of Instagram was like, no one's looking at the feed. People are looking at stories for pictures, and I was like, yes, that is what I am doing, because like I think
because you made your feed bad.
No, I don't think it's the I think it's the genuineness of a story that makes it more compelling versus a curated photo. Like,
Get out of here. Get you Silicon Valley brainwashed.
Yeah.
No, because I would if somebody has like 6 stories, right? And I'm
80%
seeing
of the stories are just the pictures of the post that they posted to alert you that they put up a post. Because
Exactly.
the algorithm doesn't let
Exactly.
you see the post anymore. People
I-
had to change how they
But
use
here's my
stories because stories are so bad.
Here's my experience of Instagram stories. I get an alert on my phone because, yes, I still get alerts on my phones. It's like Instagram, PKMNcast has posted to their story, and I click on it, and it's
a
feet
thing?
on a one
Yeah,
wheel.
it's feet on a wheel. I wanna see feet on a
Yeah.
wheel.
Oh, hooray.
I would
They're-
never post
hey,
that in my feed, but I would
they
post
are-
that in my story.
They are covered feet, so why am I there? B,
I can
don't
put the
even know where
Crocs
you're
on.
going. I don't have any landmarks. All I see is it could be any street for all I know. That could be a fake street in your basement for all I know.
That's true. I don't want people knowing what street I'm on. Because they'll figure it out in 24 hours, but at that time, the story has faded. Speaking of fading stories, we have Pokemon news.
Yeah.
We actually just have 3
Okay.
things we're going to focus on today.
Is one of them why the Sword and Shield soundtrack isn't out and we are months away from Scarlet and Violet? Because it bothered me today.
No.
Ooh.
Although that is always, every night I go to sleep, I think,
Where's my
Maybe
soundtrack?
maybe tomorrow when I wake up, the soundtrack will be available. My Twitch chat was like trying to make fun of me for using iTunes the other day, which is a fair thing to make fun of somebody for, because iTunes is very boomer software. I understand.
Excuse?
iTunes
That's-
for what?
PC. Well, iTunes only exists on PC now, or Windows, I should say, because on Mac it's Apple Music.
It's music,
Yeah.
yes.
But like, what do you mean you like for streaming?
So I
or
use
just for-
iTunes when I stream on Twitch because I have all of the Pokemon soundtracks in
Oh,
iTunes.
yeah,
I
yeah,
purchase them through, but you can't get them anywhere else.
No.
So I
And-
have to use that. I mean, I could move them into like a VLC player, but why would I do that? That's just an extra
VLC
step.
players are garbage. Here's the thing. People, all of you streamers who only stream your music, there's going to come a day when they pull your favorite band because they don't want to pay royalties anymore, and you will be OUT out of your favorite band. Purchase their music to support your artists, and you can play it whenever you want.
That happened to me because Wawaka's Unhappy Refrain used to be on Apple Music, and that's like literally one of my favorite albums of all time. And then they're like, oh, it's not licensed for the United States anymore.
Right. But if you bought it, you own it.
Well,
so buy your stuff.
I mean, I'm sure there's like a YouTube playlist out there that has all the songs and
Well, YouTube will yank it when it stops being profitable to you. You cannot trust a corporation to keep your favorite things available to you for all time.
I'm just saying that if you want the Pokemon music, you can still purchase it through iTunes / Apple Music, and it's like $10 an album or whatever. They have Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
They have everything but Sword and Shield.
Yeah, they don't have Sword and Shield. They don't have Legends, and they don't have BDSP. But to be fair, Legends and BDSP aren't even a year old yet, so I give them a pass.
Did they change the music for BDSP?
Yeah, because you can remember there's I made a YouTube video about this.
Right.
There's like a guy you can talk to that will switch it to the old music.
I'm going to admit that I've actively deleted so much of my memories about BDSP.
You know, it's not great. You know what is great? They continue to update the max raid battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield. September 9th, encounter Pyukumuku, Pincurchin, and Snom in max raid battles. This is a brand new raid event. They have repeated some, third year, going on to the third year of Sword and Shield. It is the third year of Sword and Shield, right? And they're still popping out new ones. Yeah, this will be Sword and Shield will be 3 years old.
Party 3 years ago.
This is my third anniversary of being in Minnesota.
I'm having a crisis.
I made a graphic for that, which is on Instagram.
Yeah, but it's over by the time that this.
No, it goes. They've made them longer.
It made them longer, thankfully, because I did it on Friday. I found a shiny Snom. I didn't catch it. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this weekend, and then promptly forgot. So I'm glad that it's extended so that I can try again.
Yeah, it goes until September 19th, which, their raids are returning for Scarlet and Violet. There's no way they're not going to do something like this in Scarlet and Violet. It seems wildly successful from a customer perspective. I'm sure that's if most games sell microtransactions and skins and other stuff, so they want you to come back to their game to sell. But I'm sure there is some end game that they're getting, whether that's data or playtime or whatever they're getting from you that isn't a skin. But they keep doing them, and they keep doing them every month. And they figured out that 3 days is not long enough, and they've been doing about 10 days.
Yeah.
And that's great. So if you're listening to this, Shiny Snom in the wild area in Max Raid, only in 5-star. Again, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram if you want the graphics. They'll probably do another one next month. I'll make a graphic for that. But yeah, also they usually do the evolution. Obviously there's a theme here with the 3 little squishy dudes. I don't know. What do you call Snom, Pyukumuku, and Pincurchin? I don't know, squishy dudes? I don't know
I mean, they are the closest thing to Pokemon Squishmallows.
Hacky sacks.
The hacky
sacks.
You put Frostmoth there, you kind of destroy the hacky sack theme. But usually it's the evolution. But that's happening. And so, I hope that they continue these like once a month weekend raids in Scarlet and Violet, and I hope they're like a week long or 10 days long or whatever they're doing. They are still not giving us that heads up. They're still dropping it randomly at 7 p.m. on Central Time on Thursday nights, but, they're getting there.
They're getting there. What is the over-under that in the final month of Sword and Shield we get a Wycom fix?
What that's going to be a
not going to 1%.
That's shiny.
What's the over-under we get Mewtwo back?
Ooh.
Because those raids were incredibly fun.
They were.
And they didn't do that.
We'll get the armored Mewtwo.
We obviously there was a brand new trailer for Scarlet and Violet. We're going to talk about that. That's going to be the majority of the show. Let's just get the other Sword and Shield news out of the way. Oddly enough, a lot of Sword and Shield news. 3 mythical Pokemon are up for grab for the European Sword and Shield distribution event. Pokemon fans in Europe got some news. There is a new distribution starting on September 9th, allowing players to get their hands on Genesect, Volcanion, and Marshadow. This new offers come on this offer comes on this is off Dota Esports, by the way. Offer comes off the heels of other distributions allowing players to collect Ash's Pokemon from the World Cup Coronation Matches series. I don't forget what that's called. The 3 new Pokemon can be obtained through distribution through visiting certain stores. They're code cards. So they're unique. You just scratch it off like a lottery ticket, like most GameStop events for those Americans being like, what is this? You can go to Game, Micromania, and what is the last one? They don't have the last one here on the list. What is the last one? Micromania, Game, another one.
According to this, UK is Game, France, Micromania, and Netherlands and Belgium. So check out Game-Mania.
Game-Mania. There you go. Game-Mania. So they did this. This is not unique to the UK. This was originally a Japanese event, and I actually made a YouTube video about that, of how you could order a specific set of the Japanese trading card game, and then it would come with these codes, the points. And then you would add the points together and you could redeem these 3 Pokemon, but you could also redeem a Master Ball. You could redeem Apricorn Balls. You could redeem a bunch of stuff. You also, if you lived in Japan, you didn't have to buy Pokemon cards. You could buy like a coffee at a 7-Eleven and you could get a point. And ideally, you just needed 30 points to get everything on the list. And I made a video on how what cards to order to import, because you would also get the cards, but you would get the points, so you get both, or you could just find somebody who's just selling you points. And then they moved that over to Korea, and in South Korea there was the same event, except the South Korean website put up you ultimately needed a VPN, because if you tried to log in to do the point system there, it blocked you. And it was way more work than the Japanese event was. And now it's in the UK. Mr. Joe Sarabee, tweeted that he doesn't think this is coming to the US. It hasn't come to the US. I don't know why he thinks that. I don't know what information he has versus others. To be frank, I'm very surprised it came to the UK. It seemed very much like a Japanese / South Korean event. South Korea always gets a lot of events that no one else gets, but they also they just got the Latios movie for the first time 2 years ago or something. So if you're an American person, you're listening to this, you want Marshadow, Genesect, Volcanion. I'm sure a lot of people do. Specifically Marshadow, I think, is pretty soft out of her. Genesect, you play Pokemon Go, spend the $1, give Niantic the $1, you'll get your Genesect. Your options are find somebody in the UK and ask them to walk into a Micromania or a game and pick you up code cards, and then have them scratch off the code cards and then have them take a picture of it and send it to you. That would be your free option. That requires you to know somebody in Europe. Your second option is if you don't have friends to do that, somebody I'm sure on eBay will gladly walk into a store for you and get you these cards, and they will sell you these cards on eBay for whatever they cost. I'm not sure what they're going for. I would, if I was to guess, probably $15.
I feel like I did the Japanese thing for this.
I feel like you did too. Because I remember there were some people in the Slack that imported cards based on my video, and if you imported 1 box of cards, you got 54 points, but you only could use 30. The extra points were not, you couldn't do anything with them. So people were giving the extra points to other people so they could get them.
And then what did you do with the cards?
I open them and then I put them in a binder, and then all the fillers sit in a box in my closet. Like Pokemon cards should do. Do you know, Japanese Pokemon cards are actually kind of the worst because you can order them and then import them, and they're fun. Like, obviously, like they're fun to collect, and people like the silver border over the gold border of the American cards, and the backs are better. Card quality is better. The problem is no one will take them. Like if I order 17 booster boxes, which is 36 times 17 or whatever, and I rip open all these packs and I get my Charizard V Rainbow Rare and I get my Grimmsnarl V Rainbow whatever, I get my Marnie, I put them in my binder or I sell them or whatever I do with them, and then you have, thousands of bulk cards. You can drive down to your local shop and be like, I don't want this bulk. And they'll be like, I'll gladly give you $20 for 10,000 useless cards. And you'll be like, yes, that's perfect, because I would rather have $20 than to throw these away. No one will take Japanese cards. They don't want them. They can't do anything with them. They can't make any money off them. It's like really weird because you would think it's just another thing they would put in their display case at their store and be able to sell, but
nobody wants them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
What you need to do is you need to start a correspondence program for lonely card needers in Japan and say, I will send you a card a month and a special note. For the same price as a cup of coffee, you can get a Pokemon Japanese card sent to your home.
That's what, do like a monthly letter to some subscription level and just include a Japanese Pokemon card in every letter.
Well,
I mean,
you're a Patreon. I do this. You just don't get it. You just don't get it because you refuse to fill out your address in Patreon. So when I export the list,
man drives past my house at least 15 times a week.
At this point, you could just check it out the window onto the lawn. Just take a brick, tie it to the brick, and throw it through the window.
Right? The real issue is, like, I think MTG is the only trading card game where you can play cards. They don't care what language it is. And because you can't play Japanese cards in the U.S.
You can't play. The U.S. rule is it has to be English.
Yes.
But if you played
right,
in Europe,
the scam is, right, in Europe you can play any of the European languages.
Correct. Except in Japan, you have to only play.
Were you about to say that Japanese is a European language?
No, I was.
Yeah, those words were about to come out of your
we
mouth.
saw them forming. We saw them
out.
forming in the brain. We could hear the cogs going.
No, because the only out of like Italian, French, there's no Spanish, English.
What? Spanish is a language.
Spanish is a language, but there is no Spanish Pokemon cards.
Are you sure?
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
Why?
there's Portuguese ones.
There are Portuguese cards, yes.
Why
are
would
there
they
no
make
Spanish
Portuguese
cards?
ones and not Spanish ones?
So Spanish to the like 10 Spanish people who listen to this show, because I know you're out there. I know who you are. Two of you are patrons. Spanish
Hola.
got completely skipped over in the language thing. So every Pokemon, their Spanish name is just their English name. So like German, like Snorlax is Relaxo, right? Mr. Mime in Japanese is Barrier. Flareon in Japanese is Booster. Coughing in German is Smogon. That now you know why Smogon is named Smogon. For Spanish, Charizard is just Charizard. Vaporeon is just Vaporeon. Mimikyu is just Mimikyu. There is no Spanish names for Pokemon. So they just also get English cards.
That's just ridiculous.
Why?
It just makes no
what
sense.
happened?
I feel like there's a point where they could have, but they missed it with the naming thing, right? Like,
But they did all the languages in Chinese.
y-
They added
y-
new
yes,
Chinese.
Yes,
And they haven't added Spanish.
They could have dipped into the Spanish market and made more money by selling Spanish-only
What is
cards.
going on?
But
I
also,
feel like
we
now
we
Spain
could,
is a ripe market for a bunch of Pokemon knockoffs.
But
But
we
it's
could-
not just Spain. It's like most of Central and South America as well.
I mean, we could go back to the conversation of saying Japanese cards don't resell at all. Only English cards do. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
They probably don't do it because if they did, then they'd have to let the U.S. players use Spanish language cards because it's the Americas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's also no Canadian cards. They're all in English as well.
Look. Canadian French isn't true French, and nobody should recognize it.
So yeah, Volcanion, does this have an end date? I don't see an end date here. Oh, yes, this event will run from September 9th to September 30th. It does not say when the codes expire, though. It's just that Micromania will stop getting them sent to their stores to hand out. So if you want to do that, figure that out. If you're desperate for a Volcanion, find somebody in Europe to walk into a store and get you a card. And we talked about this last week. Just want to bring it up one more time because I do hate talking about leaks or rumor. This is not anything to do with Scarlet and Violet. Everyone calm down. Keep driving.
I was about to hang up the call. Bye.
I don't like to talk about unconfirmed information, but we now know for sure that Shiny Eternatus is coming to GameStop.
Oh, it's been confirmed.
Yeah, that has been confirmed. It will start on September 18th, which is what the rumors originally said. Here's what you do. Only confirmed for America for Shiny Eternatus. I'm giving you life advice right now. You go to GameStop. You get multiple Shiny Eternatus codes. You find somebody in Europe. You offer them your Shiny Eternatus for their Volcanion, Marshadow, Genesect. And then you guys trade codes. Done. Easy.
Done.
So yeah, Shiny Eternatus is coming. I think that's it. I think that's all this. Did we talk about Ash's Pokemon? Ash's Pokemon are still available. Right. As of this recording, Ash's Surfetch is a spoiler. Ash has a Surfetch on his team.
Okay, I started watching the anime series again, and can I tell you one thing? Every time it opens and says a Netflix series, I get annoyed. Netflix, you didn't make this. You didn't make this. This isn't
They pay
yours.
for those royalties.
It's just say Netflix is profiting off somebody else's work.
That's the whole business model of Netflix.
I know.
I was gonna say, is it
Just most things don't say a Netflix series that have existed for that long. It just annoys me.
I see what you're saying because there's been so much history.
I mean, it's just like a 4Kids, a whatever else came after, a Netflix.
Cartoon Network.
Like, list all the ones that ever owned it at that point. Netflix series, my butt.
Oh, I have a list here. Sorry, going back to Marshadow, Volcanion, Genesect. If you're in the UK, Game. Spain, Game. Italy, Ireland, Germany, GameStop. Not to be confused with the American GameStop. France, Micromania. Netherlands and Belgium, Game Mania. That was it. Sorry, I thought there was going to be more countries there.
I have a feeling like the people in those countries have a much better clue of where to go than we do.
Yeah, probably. So until September 22nd, you can get Ash's Surfetch. And then there should be a couple more days left for Ash's Gengar if you're listening to this. Dragonite just expired. Most of Ash's Pokemon have been going for about 2 weeks. They're not anything special in the sake of like no Cherish Ball. But I think there are two types of Pokemon code redeemers. No, there are three types. Sorry. Number one is Bobby.
Yeah.
Who gets very excited about all of these distributions and then proceeds to forget them.
Yes.
And then complains in Slack that they forgot.
Yes.
Number two is a person like me where I want every single event distribution available because all of these have some sort of ribbon on them. And even though they're not shiny, how many, Charizards with a classic ribbon do you have? You probably have like 30 shiny Charizards because you played Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, but you probably don't have 3 Charizards with ribbons. But that leads us into number 3, the person that will ask the question, what makes this so special? Because they don't care about ribbons, they don't care about Cherish Balls, they don't care, I feel like what they're really asking is like, does it have an exclusive move and or is it shiny? Is what they're asking, because they don't care about the other things that really make event Pokemon special, which is like the ribbon is what makes it special, whether you care about the ribbon or not. The Cherish Ball too, but Ash didn't catch these in Cherish Balls, hence why they're not in Cherish Balls.
Can you even buy Cherish Balls in any of the games?
No.
Yeah. That's why.
There's like a slight frustration that the most characters in the anime only use Pokeballs, because there's a kind of coolness, I guess, if like Ash caught this in a Ultra Ball, so then it would come in an Ultra Ball, and you'd be like, oh, like there's a reason, like the reason he caught an Ultra Ball is because he like won an Ultra Ball in the fishing contest 2 episodes ago, and then he just uses a Pokeball.
He just uses Pokeball at all times. Ash is the most basic among us.
He's not basic. He's frugal. He's not spending money on Pokeballs that he doesn't need.
That kid has traveled the world 80 million times. He can clearly just hop on a plane for without it denting his wallet.
He's researching his book, How to Travel the World on $1 a Day. On
is Ash
a day.
How many people has he defeated at this point? He's got to be swimming in money.
Is Ash a digital nomad? Is he just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His mom takes all his money?
Yeah.
And then buys stuff that he doesn't ask for?
Mom invests it.
And then eventually, after playing, Heart Gold Soul Silver for like 4 months, your mom will eventually buy a Sunstone, and then you can eventually evolve your Sun Current into a Sunflora for the Pokedex entry that you've been missing. And then some people are going to be like, well, do the bug catching contest. Well, no, I don't stream on Twitch on Sundays, where that's the only chance to win the Sunstone is like the 5% of the bug catching contest. I just got to wait for my mom to buy it at this point. Anyways.
Not everything has to be Twitch content. Sometimes you can get Sunstones for your own enjoyment.
Look, there's no enjoyment of playing a Heart Gold Soul Silver outside.
This is true, but
there's no enjoyment there. Okay, we got rid of all the news that isn't Scarlet and Violet.
No, we did not.
What?
Clefairy is coming to Unite.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's such.
I mean, it's so minor.
It's far away.
Just mention it now. We don't know anything about it. Clefairy's coming. It can be Clefable. Cool.
Hot take, I would rather it stay Clefairy, like Pikachu stays Pikachu.
Well, they are saying it is an optional evolution, like Scyther is going to be an optional evolution, that you can go to Scizor or keep it as a Scyther. I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing in that game anymore. I don't even know if I like that game anymore, so...
First you said I was right about the Trainer Lodge. Now you're going to be like, Steve was right. I'm taking a break from Unite. That game is wild right now.
I can be clear. I don't like that game anymore.
I can only agree with you so much before I feel like I've been poisoned. So let's just keep it where it's at right now.
All right, the triple threat, Greg is going to be like, you know what? I really love Pokemon Go.
Head trauma will make that happen, maybe. Severe head trauma.
Hey, I think Pokemon Go's in a good place right now. I've been having a good time with it. I mean, I could be like, it could get worse, but yeah, Pokemon Go could actually get worse.
Yeah, it could. It could.
Actually, there is news. There is news. Sorry, I thought we were gonna go a whole episode without talking about Pokemon Go.
We could.
But this is the actually good news for Pokemon Go that Niantic didn't announce at all. If you go into the advanced settings in Pokemon Go now, you can do the Harry Potter Wizards Unite Day 1 thing, which is download all the assets to Pokemon Go. It's like 800 megabytes. It's huge. So don't do it when you're on your like 5G connection. But it will make your game run so much smoother. So like if you do play Pokemon Go a lot and you have the room on your phone, maybe like look, if you just play Community Day in Pokemon Go, I would still do this. You go into your settings, scroll all the way down to the bottom. It should say advanced settings. One of the advanced settings is like that high refresh rate. I suggest turning that on, but it will destroy your battery. So if you're very conservative about your battery, maybe don't turn that on. If you always have a battery pack or you always have a car charger or whatever, then like turn it on. And then the second one is like download all assets. Do that.
318.9 megabytes.
That's part one. Then it will jump to like 800.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And okay, so also
on my multi-gigabyte phone,
I'm gonna give you guys some tech support here. If it gets stuck and it doesn't go anywhere, because I tried everything. I tried to like force quit the app. I tried to refresh the app because under advanced settings you can like refresh it too. None of that works. If it gets stuck, you have to delete the app, re-download the app from the App Store, log back in. You're not going to lose your data, and then it will fix it.
too much.
I know that's a lot. It's
I'm
a
out.
lot.
Too much.
I'm out.
It's too much.
I'm
Too
out.
much.
That's only if it gets stuck. Only if it gets stuck.
Yeah, and what you're saying is it gets stuck.
Well,
I'm out.
it gets stuck
You
because
want
so
it-
many
you-
because it
Do you
has to
know
pull from
how
their server.
many soundtracks in iTunes I have to delete to fit that assets on my phone?
just delete the platinum soundtrack. You'll be fine.
What? That's the best soundtrack.
Delete the Sun and Moon soundtrack. It's barely any different than the Ultra Sun and Moon soundtrack. Okay, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we got a bunch of Scarlet and Violet stuff, then Question of the Week, Pokemon of the Week, and then that will be our show. So we will be right back. And we are back from our break. The big stuff. The Scarlet and Violet stuff. The reason that, look, if you made it through the first 30 minutes of the show, you must be really
You'll
excited
not
for this.
survive the next 50.
I mean, we have timestamps too. I don't know how many people actually use the timestamps, but okay. This was on September 7th. It was like what, like a 3-minute trailer. Before I read everything, I want to say that this trailer was bad, but not bad in the information provided. It was just like a very distracting / whatever music choice they used was not good.
I didn't notice the music at all.
Now I don't think what the heck you're talking about.
It just felt very like chaotic, but not chaotic in a good way.
Maybe the problem was that was you were watching it, you were late starting it, and then you kept rewinding to look at things and comment on them rather than just watching it all in one go.
Because I
You
have
wound
a
it.
pure,
What? That's a
beautiful-
big crab? I've got to go back and
I gotta
see
go
the
back.
crab.
What is that?
I rewound it.
Look at
I
those!
rewound it once.
Who's that?
Oh, the car is back. The car.
Oh!
Oh, boy, it's a car. I ain't never seen a car before.
No, the car is a Pokemon, number one. Number two, Splatoon 3 also had the same issue with their recent trailers where they just picked the worst music choice to run in the background. And
The
it,
car is a Pokemon allegedly.
yes. And there's somebody out there shaking their head up and down agreeing with me that last Splatoon 3 trailer was terrible.
Okay, so I will write to my uncle at Nintendo and
Yeah.
let him know
Yes, please.
that for all future game trailers that they come out with, that it must be In the Arms of the Angels by Sarah McLachlan. No other music allowed.
None will
Thank you.
suffice.
Correct. Look, we have thousands of listeners. I'm sure one of them have an uncle working at Nintendo. They can let them know.
I have two.
Okay. So today, the Pokemon Company International and Nintendo have revealed more details about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet video games. Multiple stories, new features, new characters, maybe new paths. I don't know. I'm just adding that into the press release. And more Pokemon from the Paldea region were announced. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet will launch November 18th. 2022, exclusively on the Nintendo Switch system. We're going to start off with the story. Your own story woven through your treasure hunt. In Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, players enroll in a school that will host an independent study project themed a treasure hunt. 3 stories will be woven into the players' adventures while traversing the sprawling Paldea region. Here are the 3 stories. They listed out right here in the press release. Victory Road. Players will go to gyms in different locations to achieve the champion rank. Path of Legends. Upperclassman Arvin will join players in the search of rare ingredients called Herba Mystica. Starfall Street. Players will challenge Team Star, a group of delinquents causing trouble. I'm surprised they actually didn't use the word thugs. They love that word. Causing trouble.
Thugs is no longer acceptable.
Yeah, we don't use that word anymore.
That's like the first 7 generations of Pokemon games. I think
there used to be burglars in the game, and they dumped them. So let's just
there used to be trainers with whips in the game.
Let them grow. I mean, we have a trainer with the whip in the game again.
We did this one.
That is not a whip, sir.
No,
that is
attitude.
A garden hose.
Yeah, sure.
He sprays water with it.
He sprays something.
They're delinquents causing trouble for the school. These stories are set in an open world teeming with Pokemon and people you meet, so players can determine which path to take and explore however they desire. So there's still a lot of questions here.
Are there?
I was like, I didn't have a lot of questions.
Well, okay, here's a question I'll pose. Can I ignore Path of Legends and Starfall Street and just do the Victory Road story and get credits? And then to piggyback on that question, can I ignore Victory Road, not do a single gym, ignore Path of Legends, ignore Arvin? Can I just battle Team Star and get credits? Is that what they're saying? Or what I shared earlier this week, and what I've shared multiple times on the podcast, this is just marketing. This is every Pokemon game. Every Pokemon game is become champion, beat the bad guys, and figure out whatever legendary needs helping. This is every Pokemon game in a nutshell.
Well, okay, so I don't think Herba Mystica is whatever legendary needs helping, but
I think it's called Path of Legends.
That's fine. I think it's different. But yes, I think you're right. Like it's they're trying to say that they're exposing what's always been there. There's 3 things.
Yes. Which isn't like bad. It's just that's every Pokemon game. I can't think of a Pokemon game that doesn't have those 3 things. Even Legends has those 3 things. Become champion is the equivalent of doing they're not totems, nobles, the 5 nobles.
Nobles, yeah.
And then being like blessed to like meet Arceus or whatever. And then the bad guy is obviously that. Can we spoil that at that point?
No.
You know who the bad guy is in
Legends. It's not even been out a year of it.
And then, yeah. Legends is probably the farthest away from it, but it still hits those like 3 main things you're doing. I would say Legends has a 4th one, which is like collect everything.
Well, you do have to complete the Pokédex, right?
Yeah,
So
where no other Pokemon game requires you to do that. Okay, well, we'll go through here. Players can have 1 Pokemon out and walking with them in the Paldea's region's great outdoors. This was a huge complaint in Sword and Shield. This is a talking point for a lot of Pokemon games where if a Pokemon isn't following me like in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I am not interested. Obviously, Sword and Shield
they do nothing. They just stand there, and sometimes they glitch through objects.
or they run on water rather than swimming.
I don't think the following Pokemon made BDSP a better game. It did. They did
I don't know.
exist
That
in that
Ekans
game.
is pretty good.
If anyone tries to tell me BDSP is a good game, I just show them Ekans' walking animation.
And they're
BDSP.
like, "You're right. This is a great game."
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to remind people that they did make an Ekans walking animation. And it was very good. It was in a game called Let's Go Pikachu, Let's
It's
Go
called
Eevee.
Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
And they could have just copy and pasted it. Control C, Control V.
No.
When they have a Pokemon exploring with them in a field, there is a players can use the Let's Go feature to send a Pokemon off in a direction they indicate. The players will send out that Pokemon. Sends out the player that the Pokemon the player sends out, then independently picks up items in the area and auto battles with nearby Pokemon. I want to put this whole thing on pause and come back to that, because they actually don't really show that in the trailer. You have to read the website for that or listen to this podcast. More Pokemon revealed. In addition to new regional Pokemon found, you didn't show any new regional Pokemon in this trailer. Why are you saying this in this press release? Different species of Pokemon will appear depending on which game the player purchases. Armarouge, I'm maybe saying that wrong, can be encountered in Pokemon Scarlet. Ceruledge can be encountered in Pokemon Violet. Armarouge's set of armor belonged to a distinguished warrior and its source of energy used for its psychic type moves. It also has the psychic capabilities of the armor to control fire energy within its body and unleash attacks. Somebody at the Pokemon Company probably just watched Avatar for the first time. It is the Fire Warrior Pokemon. It is Fire Psychic type. It has the ability Flash Fire. I think, although I've been wrong before, the only Fire Psychic Pokemon prior to this has been Victini and has been Delphox.
Delphox.
One of them is probably Psychic Fire, so now you're in trouble. I'm confused. You say they didn't show any new regional Pokemon, and then you just said the names of 2 new regional Pokemon. So what are you talking about?
For regional Pokemon, not like Wooper?
No.
Those are regional forms.
Those are regional forms.
Got it. My bad. I was thinking forms. Because there were some people that thought that these were
Regional Bisharps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Bisharp was... Also, if people look at these Pokemon and they're like, oh, they look like Samus or Mega Man or Digimon or whatever, it's like... it doesn't really look that different from Magmortar or Bisharp or Scyther or Scizor. There are already so many Pokemon that have this... I mean, you could go very basic and say humanoid form, but there are so many Pokemon that have giant weapons on their arms. I don't know, like Cleavor.
I don't know who that is.
Ceruledge dons an old set of armor steeped in grudges and wields blades from fire and ghost energy. In battles, these blades turn into great swords to increase Ceruledge's power. Cuts from these great swords will leave wounds which life energy will flow. This is the Fire Blades Pokemon. It is Fire Ghost. It is 5'3". It has 136 pounds. Both these Pokemon's ability are Flash Fire. The only Fire Ghost that I can think of right now is the Chandelure line. Although that could be Ghost Fire, actually.
Alolan Marowak?
Oh, yeah, Alolan Marowak. Good call.
I'm just going to say that I personally feel a strong connection to Ceruledge because I, too, don sets of armor steeped in grudges every day, and I let it carry me through my life.
True.
I think these Pokemon are cool.
I like them. I mean,
but I don't personally like them. But I do think they're cool.
I mean, I like the boots. This game is quickly becoming about boots for me. And given the fact that it's still a 0 out of 10 game, I am excited for actually, it's rare that I like both sort of unique pseudo, whatever these are going to be, pseudo legendaries.
You think there's going to be pseudo
potentially legendaries? I don't know. They made a big deal out of them, and so I feel like they're potentially good. I like both of them quite a lot. I like their designs.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think I didn't get legendary vibes from these Pokemon. I don't even think I get, like, Urshifu vibes from these Pokemon. I mean, Urshifu is a legendary, but, like, it's like a story legendary. Like, make a big deal about it in the story, at least.
I just have a feeling like this is a like.
Do you get Lucario vibes from these Pokemon?
I get Lucario vibes. I get Volcarona vibes. Like there was the one in the basement. I get that vibe where it is a very limited, very
The one in the basement.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
man. Let's just reduce the story of Volcarona to its most basic component.
What do you want
in
from
a
me?
basement in
It's
the
in a
worst area
basement.
of that game. No
It's
one
in a
wanted to go back to
basement.
that desert. It was bad.
So I would disagree. I think the reason that these were featured was just to make it very clear that, hey, once again, we have version exclusives. This is an example of a version exclusive that you'll have to choose by which game that you choose to play.
I agree with Will, but also adding the extra point of they haven't shown cool Pokemon. Smoliv, Lechonk, Fido. I can't remember the other ones. Like, none of those are cool. Like, well, okay, Lechonk is cool. But, like...
wow. Quaxley isn't cool.
But
Miraidon and Miraidon aren't cool.
Quaxley thinks he's cool, but
Grafaiai isn't cool.
But Pokemon does a really good job at having... Like I it took me really long to figure out that, like, I like really derpy Pokemon. Like, that's why I originally liked Farfetch so much when I was a kid. It's like why I like Cramorant now. And as much as people hate that the Pokemon Company, I wouldn't even say like they need to rely on Charizard. It's just that Charizard's an universally liked Pokemon, and like Charizard doesn't fall under that derpy situation. Charizard falls under the cool situation. He is the cool Pokemon. Same as Greninja. You would easily argue Greninja is a very cool Pokemon. And I can't think of a cool Pokemon they've shown for Scarlet and Violet, and are like, here they are. Here are the cool ones for the people that are like, all of these Pokemon are too squishy. Too huggable.
I mean, if that's what's important to people, sure. Yes, they've been featuring a lot of the I would have these as a pet Pokemon versus this is my battle ready companion.
What I'm hearing is we're finally all admitting that Titan is super cute and squishy and lovable.
Oh, I would give Titan a big old hug.
Yeah, I guess the Titan would be the one that would be
Super cute and squishy and lovable.
sure. Yeah, the Titan's another cute Pokemon they showed. Hey, they showed off Cloth.
They did.
Cloth can rotate their protruding eyeballs to see everything around them, eliminating all their blind spots. They latch upside down onto cliffs to ambush their prey from above. However, they eventually get dizzy from the blood rushing to their heads. They cannot stay upside down for very long. They're known as the ambush Pokemon. They're rock type. They weigh 174 pounds, which is incredibly light for a rock that hangs on the wall. Like, I just want to...
Only
How many
4'3".
pounds?
174 pounds.
That's not light. How is that light?
For a giant rock crab?
That's more than you weigh.
That's true.
And it's also
I'm not made out of rock.
How many heights is it?
4'3".
4'3". How many heights is it?
Well, look. Last week he said its weight is 2'4".
I
Please
know.
don't think I missed that.
I don't remember that. Whose weight was I talking about?
When did
2'4"?
the 6.1 inches thing happen? Instead of 6'1".
I think 4'3" at 174 pounds is pretty hefty.
Here's the question: do I add this to my tracking chart? Is now Clomp my new goal?
That's your goal. It's your benchmark.
People seem to like Cloth a lot.
Yeah, because when you saw it, you're like, it's a crab!
Yeah.
I mean, I did say that.
I am just curious if the giant one they shown is the range of size it can happen in game, or if they're hinting that there will be some giant boss size things, or
That's what I'm saying is the Herba Mystica line is that he's going to take you to all these places because they said the Titans.
Yes.
And so it's a Titan version of it, which is very much like the raids, where it's going to be not Dynamax, it's going to be Titan.
is this
style.
like a style of alpha, do we think?
Something
Yes.
like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Or like
this
the lords,
Nobles
nobles.
or totems. Those were things too. Yeah. So real quick, before we get to the totem stuff, there is a new ability here. The ability is Anger Shell. Cloth's Anger Shell ability is making its first appearance in the Pokemon series. When Cloth's HP drops to half or less, the Pokemon gets angry. It lowers its defense and special defense, but it will boost its attack, special attack, and speed stats. So ultimately, it's a built-in Shell Smash, which Shell Smash has been pretty good in both singles and double battles, depending on who is using it. Probably more used in singles, but Shell Smash Blastoise did make some waves, no pun intended, in doubles for at least one series. The thing about Cloth is they did use the word Titan, and they showed a Cloth that was like 4 times bigger, very big. And I guess the unanswered question here is, are Titans the same as Alpha Pokemon? I wouldn't say the same as Dynamax, because Dynamax is like a projection. But we also got Totem Pokemon in Sun and Moon. And does that mean we can bring in our Alpha Lopunny into this game, and then it will be a bigger Lopunny?
That is what I'm hoping.
Is the Alpha / Totem / Titan, are they all the same? Can I bring in a Totem Pokemon from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and will it be bigger?
I hope that is what that means, right? Like, I hope that now that we have a game that connects to Bank, we've had totems, they kind of just sat there because you couldn't really do anything with them. I'm hoping that this is a way to bring those oversized, extra large, whatever, into this game and perhaps into games going forward. Like, I do hope it means that if you bring them in, they retain that size.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm confused why we keep using different names. Like, they made big Pokemon and they called them Totem, and then they made big Pokemon again, and then they called them Dynamax and then Gigantamax, and then those big Pokemon are projections, and then they made Alphas, but they also
because they do different things.
They're just big. They're just big.
They're different story-wise. They are different.
The totems guard, or the island guardian. Well, they're not the island guardians, but they represent the trials for the island, and then the alphas are in the field, kind of roll a random die almost to get whether it's going to be an alpha.
You don't think there's going to be Titans just alphas?
No, I think the Titans are going to be like nobles, and the cook dude is going to take you to each one as part of his storyline. You'll go through a series of the Titans that you have to defeat to do the Herba Mystica storyline.
I agree that they are locked behind the storyline, and I think once you complete that legendary storyline, they may start appearing in the field.
But then it'll be like raids.
Yeah.
And that's how they'll do raids.
No, raids are the crystals you touch.
But they also had the big Gardevoir that was bigger than everybody else when they showed off the raids.
Yeah, so is that just not a Titan Gardevoir? They just didn't use the word Titan yet?
It is a Titan Gardevoir that is a raid. that
But
unlocks after you finish the Herba Mystic.
okay, but like if you
storyline.
defeat the Titan Gardevoir, does she shrink like
Yeah, I don't know.
Dynamax, or are you catching an alpha version of that in like
No.
Legends?
Yeah, that's unknown.
I guess the biggest question is like if I bring in my alpha Sneasler, which should be able to come back in because they finally showed off Sneasel and Weavile in this game, is it going to be alpha? Because a huge part of why I slowed down playing Legends is kind of the same with it's not a huge reason, but like, would it be cool to collect all the totem Pokemon in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon? Yeah, well, two of them are broken. They can't even get transferred to Bank for whatever reason. I think it's like Marowak and the Fomantis or something. Like they just can't transfer. It just doesn't let you transfer them. The other 6 that you transfer, you can't do anything with them. So like if I'm going to spend hundreds of hours shiny hunting alpha Pokemon, or even collecting an alpha dex that, sure, in Pokemon Home it says they're alpha, and that's nice, that's cool. But if I move them into a future game and they just go small again, or the game is going to be like, well, you can't move these over, they're too big, they don't fit through the transfer pipe, then why am I collecting them?
The transfer pipe.
For the joy of the challenge of having defeated an alpha
yeah,
Pokemon?
yeah.
Sometimes the experience is the reward you needed all along.
I don't know if that's true.
It is true.
they showed some new characters.
They did. Boots, 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 boots.
They showed Brassius. Brassius is the gym leader of Artisan, a town alive with flowers and art. He specializes in using grass-type Pokemon and is known as the Verdant Virtuoso.
Verdant Virtuoso.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That dude confused me the first time I saw it because the name wasn't on the screen long enough, and I was like, it's a brass type gym leader? Are they not doing types, and he's gonna have whatever Pokemon he wants? And then I
You
was
cannot tell
disappointed.
me from that artwork that is not a whip.
He sprays water on the Sudowoodo to crystallize him.
I don't like this guy at all.
What?
I
He's
don't know.
moody and cool. He's finally a cool trainer we've seen.
Okay, yeah, but if he was 10 years younger, he would just be an edgelord. But because he's an old guy, instead of using the word edgelord, they're just like, now he's moody.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
That's what they say about me every
Yeah.
day.
That's how this works.
They
When
say
you
30
when
years
you don't
younger.
have a good excuse to be an edgelord because you're a teen and don't know better, and you do it as an adult, you're just moody.
What was I gonna say? Tag nabbit. You took it right out of my mouth. Brass type gym leader.
He has the Sudowoodo. He has the Smoliv.
Smoliv. Yeah, why did they not show his Roserade? No. He reminds me of who was
Zero out of 10.
who was
Because he doesn't have Roserade. He has Sunflora. Let's be clear
bug
here.
gym leader in Castelia City.
Castelia? Oh, Berg.
Yeah, he gives me those vibes. He's like,
It
I'm an
gives you Bergie
artiste.
vibes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Berg was an artist.
He's a tortured artist. You can see it in his eyes that he's
But
never. He's
that's
never
their,
complete
that's
that
their
novel.
trope for every artist. Mina, Viola, Berg.
Not
They're
the
all just like
photographer in
that
Kalos.
photographer's an artist.
But she wasn't tortured. She was
Yeah.
like, I'm
She was
having a
very
good
I
time
guess
in
she was
my
like the
gym.
happy one. I mean, if you're Mina and you're walking in the middle of cliffs by yourself, being like, I don't know what life is, I don't want to be a gym leader. Like you're under the same trope as this dude right here, Brassius.
Something else I have in common with them, both of them.
I feel like that's unfair to Mina. I think just because all those who wander are not lost.
True.
Yeah, but if she got that new Apple Watch Ultra, she would be lost. She could set the waypoints to go backwards.
We are not. We will cover that event in a separate podcast. We have another trailer that we are focusing on, and we need to talk about Mela's boots.
Mela is the boss of Team Star's fire crew, the Skelcher Squad.
The fact that she does not have a Tsarina in that was a crime.
Oh, it is a crime, but
She's fire.
she's fire. So,
But
but she's gonna have a Sarina that Terra crystallizes to fire,
yes, correct.
No,
and they're gonna have the same boots.
Also, what is the name of the? Okay, I'm very confused.
Okay, I'm here to
Say the name of the team again.
Team Star.
No, you just said the Skeller Squad, or
Mela is the boss of Team Star's fire crew. So we're assuming there's a grass crew, electric crew, a fairy crew,
and
dark...
the crews have their own names.
Correct. Yes.
That's dumb. That's
Yeah.
So does that mean? Okay. So this is my question to you guys. I'm asking a lot of questions, not getting a lot of answers.
Well, what do you want? What answers are we gonna give? But
No, I mean,
my uncle has been
all,
very quiet about rhetorical.
These are all rhetorical questions. They don't have answers.
And then you're going to say, why aren't you giving me answers? You just said, why aren't you giving me answers? And all you're
wrong
asking
use
is
of the word
rhetorical questions.
Rhetorical questions answer themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, these are questions without answers. Here's the question without the answer. Do you think they're going to pull a Nurse Joy situation here? And because we're assuming there are multiple teams based on the sentence, Mela is the boss of Team Star's fire crew. So if there is a water crew, are they just going to make a blue version of her and put her on top of the car?
No.
Or do you think they're going to actually make different characters?
Absolutely.
They're going to make different characters.
Pitbull will be featured in this game.
Now that Pokemon Masters is a thing, they need to make as many characters
True,
to load up
true.
that game as possible. Here's what I want. This is the perfect time for Mirror B to come back.
I mean, even Cyland, Chili, and Cress had their own look and personality.
Yeah. I didn't know that there's going to be 18 squads. I have a feeling there's going to be 3.
I have a
Fire,
feeling there's
water,
gonna
and
be
grass. Why 8?
8 gyms, 8 squads. They love that number.
They also love the number 3.
Yeah, but if this is a whole storyline, you kind of have to flesh it out. Like let's go back to Arvin.
In the past.
Wait, have you played a Pokemon game before?
Yeah.
I am giving them the
Chairman
benefit
Rose.
I'm okay. Again,
You give nothing the benefit of the doubt, so
I'm
I'm not buying
okay.
this. I'm not buying this.
okay, so we can either be pessimistic, that's
Pessimistic, yes.
and assume that this is all just marketing, and that even though they say that there are 3 storylines, the only storyline that matters is the 8 gyms, and that's the only way to get credits. Because why
is everybody always focused on credits? Credits mean you just saw who made the game, and I can look that up online.
Yeah, because people get credits and then they're done, and then they go back to Fortnite.
Right, but if
They
credits
put the
never
game
come,
down.
they're never done.
Correct. So if this is truly 3 storylines, and we know for sure there are 8 gyms, because that's what they said. There's 8 gyms, Victory Road, then the champion. If I ignore all the gyms and I want to focus on Team Star, do I just beat 3 Team Star members and then I get quote-unquote credits? Am I done?
That is not how the evil team works, dude.
Or are there 8 Team Star members that maybe exist around this open world map?
No.
And then I want to piggyback that question off Arvin. If Arvin is what's leading you to Titan Pokemon, and we know in like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, there was 8 Totem Pokemon. Is there going to be 8 Titan Pokemon, one of them being Cloth, we know that now, that are going to exist around the map?
No, there were 10 nobles.
They don't.
There are 5
We
nobles.
can look at other things like contests. There aren't 8 contests.
True.
There aren't 8. They don't always make everything matchy-matchy.
Yeah.
So
There are 151 cooking recipes, though. You gotta get that golden ladle.
I could see something along contest like 5. It depends on. Honestly, the biggest question is how long did they want to make each of these storylines, and I don't know. Because it does look like in front of every gym, there's going to be some sort of trial like they did in Sword and Shield, right? Like find the Sunflora or take
they
the perfect
technically had that
picture,
Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee
Yeah.
too, right? There were like
Right.
little simpler trials, but they were like, do this to battle gym leader.
So the question, it's hard to know. Like, I could see them doing 5 squads. I could see them doing 3 squads for the base because that's the starter trio, and it would match with, here's the 3 sections of the rival team. It matches the choices you had to make at the beginning. Like, there's arguments for all of them. I do think that, like, gym battles are very straightforward. There's not a lot of story that really goes around gyms. And storylines can get extended when you're dealing with this is a delinquent team and you're stopping what they're doing in this town, and then you're stopping what they're doing in this town. So for the delinquent, evil, whatever teams you want to call them, the ne'er-do-wells, they tend to limit how many people are at the top because you run into them in multiple areas, right? Like, you'll run into their lieutenants, and then you'll hit the big one. So I don't think they're going to have 8 squads, but I do think, like, 3 seems plausible, and you're stopping each of their machinations at various parts throughout the world. So you're running into their lower members, and then you go to their boss, which is a very different journey than the just go to a gym leader, take on the gym, and get the badge.
Yeah, this is the story. This
Right.
is like, right? This isn't the I have to get stronger Pokemon so I can battle and have a strategy for gym leaders. It's not the whatever the finding the different Titans is going to get you. This is going to be the story that gets you to whatever the legendary is going to be at the end. And since it's an evil team, it's going to do what they've done with evil teams before. And right, what you noticed was that they set up some sort of Mad Max barrier to a location that you're trying to go to. So it's like whatever is motivating you on your treasure hunt to travel around, which that really hasn't been revealed other than the treasure hunt is the independent study of your school. Like, you're going to have to get someplace. They're going to set up what was the bad guy team from Sword and Shield? Team Hawk?
Team Yell.
Well, Team Yell wasn't
Yell.
technically the bad guys.
Right? These are
it was
students.
like Team Marco Polo or whatever that
Right?
was literally never mentioned.
So you're going to find that one of the faculty in the school is telling these students, hey, I'll give you extra credit if you obstruct this independent study student who seems to be going towards the legendary that I'm trying to capture. And so that's why, and then eventually, like, you'll do some of the team stars, but then you're going to get, up to the lieutenants and ultimately probably battle one of the faculty who's going to be the bad guy. My real question about this is it, because it was really not clear, is like, are they from the same school as you? Is there only one school in the region? Or are they, like, if I'm a Naranja, are they going to be an Uva, the egg? Not the egg, the grape. Right? Is that how that's going to work out?
Obviously Mela is not the Giovanni, not the Lysander. At least that's what they're saying here.
Right.
Maybe she's like the Plumeria. Maybe is
Yeah,
probably
I mean, they haven't shown much, but I do think, like, that this it feels like a Courtney who's a Matt for Maxie and Archie and all of them. Like, they're second in command. These all feel like second in commands. They're a big deal, but it is leading towards something else. And I would be surprised if they're like, we have 8 lieutenants that you have to deal with.
Although, I mean, Getsus did have
It's true. Getsus had a lot of people.
He had
in
a
his
bunch of
corner, so-
sages. Did
he
he have
had
8
the
sages?
and then
Yeah, but you didn't have to do anything with them. They just sat there and looked at you disapprovingly.
Well, the point about Will is probably the only person in the podcast that did this is like you beat Black and White and then you go out and you find the 8.
Got to catch those sages, man. They're hiding out.
How many? There are 8 sages, right?
I think there are because in the final,
I
when
thought
you
there
get
7.
no, because when you get to the Elite Four, the 8 gym leaders come and they're like, "We'll fight the sages. You go after Getsus." Remember? And then they all line up to battle.
But you
sages.
find them in just like random places. Like they're like this sage is in the cave, this sage is in the forest.
Oh, after the main story, yeah.
Yes.
But they are like as part of the story, right? You come across them, and you have to battle them.
There are 7 sages in Black and White, too.
Oh, dang! All right.
That's what I thought, because it's 7 sages in Getsus.
Yeah, I don't think Silent, Chilean, and Crescent. And I don't think do they show you? Did they even show up?
Silent, Chili, and
Crescent? No,
they can't
because
show up because they're the Shadow
they're
Triad.
the Shadow Triad.
Which also, right? They are part
They don't.
of the
But
story.
that's true though. They don't show up to that final battle, correct?
Right, because they're the Shadow Triad.
And they're helping Getsus. They're on his side. But
Yeah.
right.
As
That's
they
like
should be.
that's like here's another component of the bad guys that's not a sage, right? So the bad guy team, anything, you could have Pitbull, you could have the mad scientist, you could have the 2.
Oh, okay.
other
I mean,
weird people.
like Cyrus has 4 people, right? He has Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and maybe he has 3. He has one more. I can't remember what planet it is. Pluto? I don't know.
No,
And then-
Pluto's not a planet.
No, Pluto's planet again. Lysander has 5 or 4, and like literally no one remembers the Lysander ones. They just remember they have like different colored goggles, and they show up, and they have the worst, 0 fleshed out storyline about any of them. And they just exist, and you battle them in the factory, and none of them are memorable. The more memorable Lysander people are like the third in command Pitbull people that you have to battle because they're like all white suits, Mr. Worldwide down there.
Look, they all look great, and I want to be part of that team, is all I'm saying.
But
I'm
yeah,
not
like
looking it up.
there is
Okay.
there is the structure stuff of Ruby and Sapphire where they have
Mars,
2 different
Jupiter,
teams.
Saturn.
Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
Yep.
That's it. 3?
It. 3. And well,
Oh.
there's Charon, but they don't. That's just the scientist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a 4th one. Okay. I feel like I have more to say, but we should take a break. We should take a break because we also have to talk about the car. And we have to talk about this Let's Go feature.
Are you going to talk about the Blacephalon orbs on the car?
Yeah, we can talk about that. I don't
What
think that means
about
anything.
what
though.
about Gita?
Yeah, what about Gita?
The
Yeah, we got to
chairman
talk
of
about her too.
Gita's hair weirds me out.
Yeah, somebody finally played a Final Fantasy game over there. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we are back. So the
Again.
car is a Pokemon.
Why? Why do you say that? Why?
Look, in one drawing,
Uh-huh.
it has an eyeball and a tongue sticking out at the top. That's it.
Yeah, but my car has that too.
Yeah.
There is some featured key art which does show tongue and eyeball.
And we do not know if that is artistic interpretation of the scene, artistic liberty, or reality. We have one thing, and it's got Blacephalon orbs at the top.
Have you never seen like street art hot rods?
Yeah.
That are painted with all
the
kinds
thing
of
in
stuff?
the engine. Okay, so the Pokemon is the engine. It's moving. Like if you go back and watch the trailer, when there's like a short shot of it going up the car, and the engine is moving. Like his tongue is moving around, his eye is moving.
Yeah, it's called audio animatronics. I can see that at Disney. They're not a live or Pokemon.
I don't think the Blacephalon orbs mean anything. I think the
No,
Blacephalon.
Blacephalon they're disco balls.
Yeah, they're just
That's
disco
the same
balls.
thing. but it's fun to pretend because it's fire, and Blacephalon was fire.
Fire
The-
Ghost.
the-
Fire Ghost.
Fire Ghost.
We forgot that earlier. Everyone
So-
always forgets about Blacephalon.
Well, because it's a weird, creepy clown without an exploding head. Like,
I'm a
none of
big
that is
fan.
good. None of that is good.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. So we didn't talk about this with the Titan stuff. In the screenshot, when you're battling Team Star, also, for the record, I think Team Star is a pretty good name. I think that's pretty fun. I think that's so far more interesting than Team Yell. Team Yell is just like angry soccer fans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it fit. That's all the UK is, a bunch of angry soccer fans. So,
Team Skull is like based on like Korean b-boys, and they did a really bad job at like communicating that to people.
Wait, why do they have to be Korean b-boys? They're just b-boys.
yeah.
Yeah, but like that's like
They have them in
bigger-
Japan as well.
Yeah, but I feel like it's bigger in Korea.
No.
I think it's bigger in Korea.
What? Based off of what? Based off of what? What? Show me your work. Bring out the paper.
How many episodes of Bleach have you watched?
Yeah.
Wait, is Bleach
that-
Korean?
No.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say how many K dramas have you watched, and I was like, I don't know, but I can talk to my wife. She's seen quite a few. Okay, so in the screenshot, we see a Fuecoco at level 15 battling the Torkoal on top of the car at level 27, and it shows that she has 2 Pokemon, and it shows the player character having 6 Pokemon. But still a Fuecoco. So, number one, we know that Fuecoco probably doesn't evolve until 16 or higher.
Well, we don't know because we don't know if you've been hitting B button the entire time.
That's true.
It could have been at level
True.
10 and be like, nah, never.
I did that with
I've-
Chespin.
I've never seen the third evolution, so no, never evolve.
Is this going to be Legends, though, where you don't hit the B button? You got to go in and tell it to you?
Oh, please. Please be that. Please, please.
But 15 to 27, that's
Get wrecked.
a big level jump. The thing they didn't show, though, is they showed levels here in the screenshot. I just said level 15 male Fuecoco, 48 HP. Level 27 female Torkoal, no HP. You never see the opponent's HP anyways. They didn't show during the battle with Sudowoodo and Smoliv. They purposely did not show levels. They show the health bar. They show the name. They purposely blacked that out. So did they black it out because level scaling is a thing, and depending on which gym you battle in which order, that scales appropriately. But then that begs the question, is level scaling not a thing here because there is a 12 level difference, but they were okay with showing levels here? And then I want to add on that again, that when you battle the Titan, Cloth, they also don't show that level. They purposely hide that as well. So does that have level scaling? So what is happening in this
think
trailer?
an intern forgot to scrub the level data.
I agree.
You can't trust interns. They're not getting paid, so I don't know. I mentioned before I'm worried about what level scaling will be. I'm worried about if worldwide levels only raise because you've done gym badges and other things are going to be at set levels. I don't know how they're going to handle this. We only really have the wild area to go off of how so far Pokemon has handled it, and it's been badge based. So
Yes.
I have to assume on some level it will remain badge based, and you could technically go do this plot line, but you may be under leveled because you didn't raise the overall level of the world, and leveling is harder. I don't know what to really make from it other than past experience.
Or they're all interrelated, and if you level up on the Team Star storyline, then the gyms level up.
Yeah, I mean, they could do that too. I want it to be that no matter what plot line you hit, when you hit X benchmark, the world raises as well.
Yeah, that's
Right.
I
'Cause,
hope
like,
I have a
that's
feeling
how it
that's where
is.
we're
I
going.
don't have faith that that's how it is, but I hope that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, in Sword and Shield, the Pokemon in the wild area gets stronger when you get badges, and if you're ignoring the whole champion thing, does that mean the Pokemon in the wild area stay level 10? I don't know.
I don't know.
This is the whole problem with, like, quote unquote an open world Pokemon game is how how
how
do
are
they balance
handling
this? Because that's not like thing in like Zelda. Zelda, you just have hearts, and if you get hit, that takes up certain hearts, and like some enemies who hit you take 1 heart, and some enemies that hit you take 5 hearts.
But isn't it kind of like area-based, like Legends Arceus, where like as you go to different areas, then the Pokemon become higher leveled?
Yes.
I mean, so I'm thinking like Zelda, right? There's some areas in the Zelda game where it's like, don't go there, you're under leveled, don't walk through there.
You could, though.
You could. Well, I mean, you could probably can for this one too.
Right.
But that's also how MMOs are, right? Like, this level has higher mobs. This area has higher mobs than this other area.
Maybe the gyms are all situated and you know what area you're walking into, and it's like, well, this is the level 60 area, so the gym in this area is going to have level 60 Pokemon. I can do it with my level 2 Pokemon. I can walk through the door, but
Yeah.
not going to.
Yeah, I feel like that's the worst way to do open world.
I mean, like, the other thing too is, so there are these weird you can look at the map, right? The map of the Paldea region exists. There's a very high quality one that you can crazy zoom in on. I don't know where that high quality one came from, but you can find it on Google. You can zoom into it really well. You can see all the detail in the map. We know that there are towers that exist. We know where all 8 gyms are. If you zoom into that map, you can see literally the layout of a gym. It looks like a football field. You can go like, here are the 8 gyms across this map. Here are the towers. Here are the open spaces. Here's the swamp. Here's the water. Here's the desert. You can see all that stuff on the map. There's a thing in open world games that we haven't talked about, which is a lot of open world games rely on like a tower system. Zelda does this, Assassin's Creed does this, Infamous does this, where you can quote unquote go anywhere, but to make that easier or to make that better or to actually get there, you need to climb this tower to unlock this area of the map so you can properly explore it. So is Team Star the beat the Team Star to open up this area of the game? Like, we're saying you can go anywhere, but you can't go past this because you need to defeat Team Star. And once you defeat them, you can open up the area behind them. Or are they just existing to exist? Is Team Star moving around the map? Is Team Star right here? What happens when you defeat Team Star? Are they now gone? And when they're gone, are Pokemon replacing? Like, there's so many unanswered questions of how this open world actually works, how this story actually works, how co-op actually works. And it's really easy to be excited and be like, this is going to be the best Pokemon game in the world, and I hope it is.
I hope it is.
I hope it is. But there's also so many things that can go wrong that a traditional formula has been like, I'm going to go through this game, I'm going to get my 8 gym badges. I'm going to follow this pretty much linear path. There's going to be bad guy stories. At some point, I'm going to catch a legendary. And then after that, I can go anywhere I want. Everything is level 60 or higher. Everything is like, a Pokemon game does become go anywhere you want once you beat the story. But
yes,
they're also curating you an experience through that. When you want your player to curate their own experience, that can go either really poorly or really good, depending on the player, but you still kind of have to... You kind of have to get that right, so it feels right. Like Elden Ring doesn't give you any. Here's a sword. Go anywhere you want. And the thing about like Elden Ring is if you go north, it's kind of hard, and they don't tell you that. If you go south, that's actually where you should have went, because that's where the intro level is. But nowhere does the game say like, hey, north is hard, south is easy. Like I went
Thanks
north.
for the spoiler.
I went north and I did all that stuff, and then when I eventually went south, I was like, this is all way too easy. Like, it's here. I wish I did it first, because like now it doesn't feel fun because I'm so over leveled and I've learned so many skills at this point that like this whole area down here feels useless. And that's a game that has like this area is hard, this area is harder, this area is easy, this area is easier. So if you do all the hard stuff first, you've kind of almost spoiled yourself for the other areas that you should have done beforehand. So is the Pokemon game going to be like that? Because like that seems like an easy complaint to be like, well, I did the 3 gyms that were really hard, now all the other gyms I just one-shot.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to be concerned about the first open world game. And again, I will always say this, be excited, but temper your expectations, because you don't know yet. Like, we don't have an example, we don't have a great example of how the Pokemon company views open world. We have how other companies view open world, and we can make some parallels, but we don't know what they decided to do.
And I think Legends is a bad example because there are 7 battles in that entire game.
Well, Legends
6
is
of the 7
also-
battles are against like a Togepi.
I mean, Legends is also locked regions. It's not open world. You have to proceed through the regions as they unlock for you. It is a linear progressive. While you're in that region, you can go anywhere, but you can't go to that region until the game unlocks it for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I never had a problem with the linear aspect of Pokemon because, like, I'm going to experience that story. It's going to be good, and then I'm going to do all the Pokemon things I do once the story is done. Like, I'm going to finish the Pokedex. I'm going to build a competitive team. I'm going to shiny hunt. I don't want to do that anyway until the story is done. Because why would I just not do the story? The only downside, I'm just punishing myself by not doing the story first, because people are going to be like, hey, did you get to this part of the story, or did you, like, it's just, you just do that first, get out of the way, enjoy it, and then do everything else.
Yeah, I want the 3 plot lines to be more than marketing. I want them to be fleshed out. I am concerned about how following one of the storylines affects levels in the open world. Like, there are a lot of things that I am leery about from what we've seen and what we've not seen. Because
Yeah,
I hate to do like all 8 gyms and then have the star team storyline have been locked at level 10 the entire time, and then I just blow through it and it's nothing.
Right.
So, like, I'm worried about those things.
I'm not worried. I'll just take what I get.
I mean, worried is an overextension of my actual feelings for dramatic effect. But yeah, I am thinking about it, let's say.
We have Gita. Gita is the chairwoman of the Pokemon League, which operates Paldea's Pokemon gyms. Among region's champions, she reigns as supreme as the most skilled trainer of all. So they're saying here she is champion, but there are multiple champions, which is kind of what they're doing in the anime.
Yeah.
They're like there are multiple champions because you've reached a certain class.
So are they? Is this their sort of way of saying the other champions are the quote-unquote Elite Four and she's the one at the end?
I kind of have that vibe. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
even
like
the gym leaders are considered champions.
Yeah, I'm curious what they say the region's champions, because it could be gym leaders. I do feel like they are just saying there's an Elite Four, there are 4 quote-unquote regional champions, and then she's the champion and has a day job. Like, she's finally doing it all.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I hate her hair.
Don't hate on that beautiful hair. It's cool.
So, I don't think anyone's talking about this. This is the first... What is the correct word? Sorry, Spanish champion, Latino champion.
Wait a minute. She's South Asian, dude. Gita is a South Asian.
South Asian, got it.
She's not from Spain.
Gita is that. Yeah, that's South Asian.
Gita comes from Sanskrit. It means beloved.
South Asia.
Yeah.
South Asia means like India, Pakistan,
Got it.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Because I saw somebody mention her name is a specific, comes from a specific area. I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
but that
it
in
comes
itself
from
is a big
Sanskrit,
deal.
which is the sort of one of the key languages of that area of the world.
I mean, they have been diversifying their champion roster, thankfully.
Yes.
I think this is great. I think it's also great that they are, because when I complained about diversity before in games, they're like, "Well, this is Japan," and I'm like, "A, it's not actual Japan. B, Japan is still diverse, and C, it's not a real location. It can be anything you want." So the fact that they are more than willing to put diversity in, even though people could be like, "Well, it's Spain." It's not Spain. It is based off of Spain. And getting more diversity from a larger section of the world, particularly from communities that are vastly underrepresented in Western media, is a great thing to see.
Yeah, totally. It's just, so going back to the question of among regions champions, she is the supreme and most skilled. They also say she's in charge of the Pokemon League.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are correct, as in the other Elite Four members are considered champion class.
Yep.
Which if you're watching the anime, you have like or if you've just played competitive in any of the recent Pokemon games, you have like Pokeball class, Great class, Ultra class, Master class. And I think that is a good direction to go with, because it's kind of something that's always existed in the anime. You always see these really powerful trainers. They're known by everyone else to be powerful trainers. Like, it's kind of silly looking back on Alola, and Professor Kukui is like, "I couldn't do the Kanto Pokemon League, and we don't have a Pokemon League, so I'm going to build the Pokemon League so we can determine the best powerful trainer." And then going the extent of like, I'm just going to then take people in charge of trials and make them already Elite Four members because they're already known as the strongest people. It's like, yeah, that's fine. But
I mean, he brought in that one golf person.
Yeah, and he said that like Kahili was known as the strongest trainer before she left, but that's how it should be, right? Like, these are just powerful trainers. Like the having one champion in such a huge world of Pokemon is kind of silly at this point.
Yeah.
And the anime has always done a really good job at being like, this world is big and there's a lot of really good trainers, and that's why it kind of makes me mad when people are like, "Well, Ash sucks." It's like, well, how many times have you gone to a tournament and come in second place? How many times have you come in fourth place?
Yeah.
Ash is actually really good at battling. Yes, he's made dumb mistakes, but so does everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, I still make a big complaint of the journeys is they make the world feel so small. I don't like how they jump. Like, let's go to Galar, and it's like, is it like next door? Because you just hop around a lot.
Oh, please. They do that on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has a giant supersonic airship.
It's not that supersonic.
I don't mind the jumping because the alternative is what we've had for so many years. I don't want to spend 3 episodes getting to a destination. I just don't.
It is. With some of the filler episodes, I'd rather have them spend 3 days getting to a destination. I would rather see Ash and Go lose their luggage in the airport than some of the things I've just watched.
Geeta seems cool.
Yeah,
they have not. They have not shown her hand in what Pokemon she may or may not be using. I'm
looking at her outfit for any hint, and all I have is the eyeball on her glove.
I mean, like, I guess, like, if I was to pick a
That's
type,
a compass. That's not an eyeball.
It's an eyeball.
It's a compass. Well, clearly
It's the Illuminati.
she's gonna have Torkoal because that's an India exclusive.
No, the Mela already has Torkoal.
Well, 'cause
Yeah, you're
Mela
right.
stole it.
Torkoal is in
because
Pokemon Go.
they can't have any overlaps in trainers. No, that's never allowed.
She'll probably have like a Charizard. I think I still think Leon was a good champion. I thought the whole like presenting Leon up front, Leon like Hop's journey to try to be like his brother and to follow the footsteps of his brother. That storyline still annoys me though, because like Hop goes from like changing his team because he keeps losing, which also infuriates. It infuriates me when people are like, Hop is a bad rival. Like, you crush every rival through every Pokemon game, and do you know why you crush them? Because they continue using the same Pokemon. Like, we know that it's like at this point Blue has a Pidgeot. You know what? He caught a Pidgey on Route 1 and he kept the Pidgey throughout the entire game.
Because they're friends.
Like Hop, you crush him and then Bede crushes him, and you know what? He changes his entire team to try to not lose again. That's a pretty good characteristic in a rival, to be like, you know what? I keep losing to this guy. I should maybe change my team.
But the problem wasn't his Pokemon. The problem was him.
Yeah, the problem was him. That is true. So it does drive me crazy, one, that people don't like. People complain that Hop wants to like battle you too much, and it's like, yeah, because he wants to be champion. Like, of course he wants to battle. And then it bothers me personally at the end. He's like, I just want to be a Pokemon professor. What?
Why? Why did that bother you?
Because like he wants to be his brother.
Yeah, I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I went, oh, I actually have to watch animals die? Maybe I'll be an actor instead.
All the time, too.
Yeah, like, I think it is a huge thing that after being beaten down a whole lot and searching and thinking, okay, A, that's my brother's dream, not mine.
That's true.
And B, I'm actually really good at this other thing. I'm going to do this other thing.
They don't explicitly give him that dialogue of being like, I'm following my brother because that's what I thought I'd need to do.
It's implied because you're a kid. Every sibling acts like that.
100%.
I'm
I'm sure at some point there was a time when your brother wanted to be exactly like you, and then at some point he was like, "Nope."
I don't think so, but
I mean,
I agree that exists.
I always say, like, there's bands that I don't like to this day because they were huge bands that my brother liked. And once I got to a certain age where I'm like, I want to like nothing that he likes, I still don't like those bands.
Okay. I think this is the last thing. Saved it to last. They didn't show this in the trailer. They showed this in the trailer,
They showed it kind of.
but like didn't say anything about it. This is off just the Pokemon website. Let's Go, a handy feature for exploring the Paldea region. Tell your Pokemon to go adventure. You can have one Pokemon out walking with you on the Paldea's region great outdoors. When you have a Pokemon exploring with you in the field, you can use the Let's Go feature to send that Pokemon in a direction you indicate. The Pokemon you send out is independently will pick up items in the area and even has an auto battle for nearby Pokemon. What are auto battles? Auto battles are a new way of battling that can be activated by using the Let's Go feature. Doing so will send a Pokemon to battle wild Pokemon without needing orders from its trainers. Your Pokemon can be sent into auto battle against any wild Pokemon you see on the field. And it can even find Pokemon to engage in an auto battle on its own. When your Pokemon is out engaging in auto battles, you can do what you want, stay by its side, watch over it, or try to look by nearby items. By defeating wild Pokemon in auto battles, your Pokemon can also earn experience points. Master this new feature and explore every nook and cranny of the vast Paldea region with your Pokemon. That's all it says. So this kind of has always existed. Poképelago is a way to put your Pokemon in and get items. There's like the cave feature. Yeah. Poképelago lets you hatch eggs.
I did feel like this is the updated version of the job system from Sword and Shield.
I was going to say, this is also a visual job system instead of
hopefully more interactive than send them off and then they come back.
Yeah, so for those, gosh, it's been 3 years for Sword and Shield. I don't think anyone talked about the job system after the first 2 weeks of that game because it was so bad.
It was bad.
The job system was bad. Like, it did. Let's explain the job system. If you went to the PC in any of the Pokemon centers, you could send your Pokemon off on a job. And there were jobs that did certain things. So, like, some jobs would get you a bunch of experience. Some jobs would get you specific, like, EVs. Like, I'll send it on this they were all based on, like, different company or sponsor names. Like, I'll send this to the tree area, and then my Pokemon's, the 10 Pokemon I spend will have, like, 100 points in special attack EVs or whatever, and they'll get experience. It wasn't very clear. It wasn't very helpful to, like, a casual Pokemon person to, like, just be like, I want to go here and send out Pokemon. It also was, like, a disaster for your PC boxes because it would also dump the Pokemon into the first box no matter what. So even if you put all the, like, these are 30 Pokemon that I need to get up to level 100, and they're in box 7, and you send them all out, they will just filter back into box 1 in whatever random order they want, and there's no way to prevent that. That's why you didn't
use box 1. You moved everybody to box 2.
Yeah, and then don't justify this bad system.
I mean, that's box 1 has always been the mess box.
True. I agree.
So this isn't too different than that, except it's a little bit more visual. Like there's been ways to increase your Pokemon levels before. Like I said, the job system, Poképelago, probably something before that I can't think of. The daycare was another way to increase your Pokemon levels. And I think that's fine. And I think what's funny is earlier in our conversation, Greg was like, following Pokemon just follow you. It doesn't really add anything. And they're like, well, now we're going to add something, which is great. I think that's good. What does this look like, though? Like, how much experience are they getting? Is it going to be like the job system where it was like you try it once or twice, you realize it's not worth it, or it's too much to manage, or does your Pokemon go off faint after one battle and you're like, I'm wasting more revives to like bring them back?
They also seem to suggest like you send them off while you're off doing something else. So like, it gives me the sense of like, is there some weird crafting system? Because I mean, we know there's got to be a cooking system. So you're like, okay, I'm going to be searching for berries and dropped sausage packets over here. You go off and level because I just want to spend an hour finding unopened cans of Spam.
Yeah, but I think you still have to stay relatively close, even if you're not staring at them while they're doing their whole thing. I get the sense that you're not going to be able to wander too far away.
Yeah.
You can do what you want, stay by its side to watch over it, or try looking for items nearby. By defeating wild Pokemon in auto battles, your Pokemon can earn experience and items. I don't know, the words, do what you want. There's a lot of interpretation there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is there to remove grind. right? Like if we ask why this feature is introduced, why did Poképella Go exist? Why did the job system exist? Why does this exist? I think the answer is to remove grind. The removing grind of collecting antidotes or whatever, leaf stones or whatever, and removing the grind of leveling Pokemon. And now to those that are like, well, I'll battle trainers or catch Pokemon to level your Pokemon. Sure. But what if you want to level other Pokemon that isn't directly in your party so you can switch out your team, right? Like this is like This is like always been an issue in Pokemon games of like I'm at the 7th gym. I found this brand new Pokemon. I would like to put him on my team, but I do not want to level this. Like it is 20 levels below, and I got 2 more gyms to do. I am not going to spend time leveling this one single Pokemon. I am sure there are people out there that do that though. I am guilty. I've not done that because I think the same thing of like, cool. I found a Larvesta for the first time after the 7th gym. It needs 25 levels to evolve. I'm good. Like,
what if it's auto battle and you suddenly see it's a shiny?
Okay, this is a thing that I've seen too. Like
me and my Pokeball Plus, I just don't care. Kill them all.
Okay, so it's literally saying you can look at the Pokemon it's battling. So you would see if it was shiny or not before you started. And
but you can't stop it. You've selected auto battle.
There's not a way.
There's no stopping. Say goodbye to your shiny. Never use this was function.
So out of the whole auto battles, the only conversation I saw on Twitter was like, "What if there's a shiny? Okay, don't send them into auto battle. Okay, stop the auto battle. Okay." You can't see it, so you would never know. Like, what? You're on the other side of the map. You're in a cave. You can't see it. You'll never know. Do you know how many shiny Pokemon you probably walk past in Sword and Shield every single day you play that game? You know why you don't
check them all.
Yeah. It takes Greg 1 month to get from one side of the wild area to the other because
it's so hard for me to play games. No, what they're adding into the auto battle feature is a message that pops up that says, "You just killed a shiny."
Exactly.
Like we don't know how Pokemon populate in this game. So in a game like Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, a Pokemon would spawn for 60 seconds, and then after 60 seconds it would despawn, and then a new Pokemon would spawn in that place. If you're in somewhere like the Viridian Forest, you're probably going to be another Caterpie, because that's the highest encounter rate there. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon do not respawn unless they are encountered and then either run away, catch, battle, right? So all of those Pokemon that exist in Sword and Shield, if you boot up Sword and Shield, go to the wild area, stand in front of a group of Pokemon, and then keep your Switch on, those Pokemon will be exactly the same the entire time unless you do something with them. And if you save the game right there, turn it back on the next day, all of those Pokemon are exactly the same. Same stats, same abilities, same chance of being, if it was shiny last night, you waited a week, it'll still be shiny when you run into it. That's all determined once they initially spawn. In Legends, they all determine whether they are shiny or not, or whether they have certain stats when that initial map loads. And there are 5 maps in that game. And there are situations where a Pokemon does more Pokemon spawn after, what are they called? Swarms? Not swarms.
Yeah. I think there were swarms.
But like if you went to the Monkey Island where there's Infernape and then like 2 Chimchars, and you deal with those 3, new Chimchars do not replace it. It's just the island is now empty, right? Like you battled the Infernape, caught the Infernape, you scared away the 2 Chimchars. Like you have to leave that entire map and come back for those to phase in. Now we know that this is open world. So if you send your Lechonk to battle a bunch of Fido, if there's 6 Fido there, and the Lechonk defeats the 6, and then another 6 pop up, and a shiny pops up, right? you would be there to say, okay, stop battling. I am going to go catch that shiny. Or you would not be there visually seeing, so you would have no clue. Like, you just wouldn't know. So the whole, like, well, what if there's a shiny? The question is, are you paying attention or not? Like, that's the question. Like, it's the same as, like, Legends. Is, like, if a shiny pops up, did you hear it? Because at the end of the day, the question you're asking yourself is, are you paying attention?
Yes. It's very Schrodinger's cat. You will only know if it's shiny or not if you look. And once you do, you've set what it is.
Like there, and I stream on Twitch. This is well known. You should come over and follow on twitch.tv/PKMNcast. Stream a lot. But there have been multiple times in Legends Arceus where I didn't hear the shiny sound. I didn't, or there's been a shiny in front of me, like 700 feet away or whatever. I can barely see it, but somebody's like, "That's a shiny Murkrow," and I was like, "That's a speck of purple. How is your eyesight that good?" But you're right. That Murkrow is not black; it is purple. But if the Twitch chat wasn't there, I would just go along my day, and I would have never known. Therefore, how would I be upset if I didn't know? Like, what if there's a shiny in auto battles? If you're there, then stop the auto battle and deal with the shiny. If you're not there, it's okay.
Well, no, the actual answer is, if you care that much about finding shinies,
don't auto battle.
Use auto battle.
Right. And again, maybe it's not,
put it in the game.
Maybe it's not worth it to do it. Maybe maybe you're only getting potions from the items. Maybe you're only getting so much XP. Maybe the area has too many different Pokemon, so it's not even good for EV training because you want to be a specific EV. Like, there are so many questions about this of like, hey, I want to EV train in attack. Lechonks give attack. I'm just guessing. Lechonks give attack. There's an area of Lechonks, so go battle these Lechonks as I go do something else, so then your EVs increase. But
Lechonk is totally HP.
You're right. Yeah, Lechonk is actually probably HP, honestly.
Yeah. Chonky, chonk. You get chonky when you battle chonks.
I think it's cool. I think it's exciting. I was hoping that the PC stuff in Sword and Shield, the job system, would be just as good as Pokemon Pelago. But Pelago is still probably the best. What should I do with my Pokemon when I'm not using these Pokemon in battle? I don't think anything comes close to Pelago. So, I hope that the Let's Go is on par with how Pelago was, of like, I need this Pokemon to do something, but it also seems like you can only do one at a time.
I need a hatchetarium for my eggs, please.
Yeah. I need a berry farm and a hatchetarium.
Yeah, Pelago was really good. Just I'm gonna check a bunch of berries. I'm gonna check all my like minerals and mining things.
Yeah,
and
I'm
get my
gonna
star
send a
pieces.
bunch of Pokemon into a cave and see what happens.
I'm going to put these Pokemon in the jungle gym. They're going to level up. I'm going to put these Pokemon in the spa. They're going to hatch. Like, Pelago is good.
Pelago is really good. Pelago is a great idea because it always feels like something should be happening when I'm not playing in this game. Like, I have all these eggs. Something should be happening to them while I'm not actively having to run around in a circle. And Pelago helped deal with that.
Yeah.
Except that poor man lost his wife and children.
That's true.
He just lost his memory of his wife and children. And they didn't know he was on this weird island. I was still waiting for DLC when they finally reunite them all together.
Question of the week. I think that was it. There's probably something in the trailer we're missing, but I think we covered a lot. Look, we spent over an hour on 3 minutes. So
I was like, oh, we're going to do question of the week. Usually we cut it. Okay. Question of the week. What is it? It's the question of the week.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Matt sent in the Marshadow distribution in our attic channel. Where is our question of the week? Did we not post one in the Slack?
I thought we were going to do all trailer.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
Hold
I
on.
didn't do it.
There was one good YouTube question, and I gotta pull it up now. I thought I was just gonna default
Every
to
time
Slack.
there's a trailer, you're like, we're cutting it. So I'm like, well, skip it this
but
week.
we took a proper break.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. I fit in the proper break. Here we go. This is from Pokemaniac. Why does the bus have a tongue? Because it's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon.
It's not
This
a
is your
Pokemon.
narrative. This is
It
your...
is.
But
It is a licking machine.
gross. I had not seen the art that you were referencing previously. I have now looked it up, and I will say this. I do not think that the truck, it is not a bus, the truck is a Pokemon. I think that either, as Steve said, the engine is the Pokemon, or they have a Pokemon trapped.
What if it's
Inside.
a Rotom?
Rotoms don't have tongues.
Bad, not
Very
not
true.
when they were in other fans, but in this monster truck, did they get a tongue and an eye?
Rotom lick. No.
Rotom lick. Rotom monster truck form.
It's the new mobile game coming out this fall, Rotom Lick.
Rotom lick.
It's a Pokemon. The engine is a Pokemon.
Oh, I think
Oh,
there's a
are we-
Pokemon inside
Okay, I actually have a valid question right now.
because all vehicles in this region.
Greg
are
is the
Pokemon.
question of the week. How meta?
What are our feelings of the OLED Pokemon Scarlet Violet Special Edition?
Oh yeah, that was the last bit of news. I think it's great.
Since I don't have an OLED, I'm planning on buying it. I think the back is really messy, but I never look at the back, so what do I care?
What? I like the back.
Oh, it's just too messy for me.
It reminds me of
I love the thing. I keep mine in my TV all the time. So the fact that the front is the super cool white clean thing, into it. Love it. Love it.
What
love
I
it.
don't understand about the back. First off, I love the back. I think it's great. But I'm a big fan of purple and orange. What I don't understand about the back, though, is that you have Quaxley, you have Fuecoco, you have Sprigatito, you have like the school symbols, and then you just have a Hatena back there. You just have.
But it's a Hatena symbol. Like it says something under it, so it's like a business.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
so it's like is this like a set of fairy type bakeries? Like that's their symbol?
But they're the only two non-Gen 8 Pokemon, and sorry, Gen 9 Pokemon. There are 3 Gen 9 Pokemon, the starters, are Go-Goat, which is in a symbol, and
Yeah.
then the Hatena. So
Yeah, which is in a
that
symbol.
is my actual problem with the back, is you have 2 older generation Pokemon that are just randomly on the back of this that
Yeah,
fit.
but do we think, given the fact that we just talked about the star stuff and the school logos, and there's there's like a star, like, are these hinting towards other businesses? Are they hinting towards the factions? If there are 8 factions or 17 factions, are these their graffiti symbols? Like, there's a lot. It's got a very graffiti feel to the end, and we know there's a graffiti artist in the game. So, like, because of all that, it's just super graffiti busy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I like the busyness. I don't have a lot of faith in the fact that there are multiple businesses or symbols because they already pulled that card in Sword and Shield with all the sponsors, and they were like, look at all these great sponsor logos we made, and we put them on Leon's cape, and we put them all around the stadiums, and like the Pokemon job thing like takes advantage of the sponsors, but they literally do nothing with it. Like everything I just mentioned is just fluff.
Yeah, well, they do nothing with it on the back of this thing either. It's just fluff. It's just decoration.
Yeah.
All the release of this OLED Switch means is that they will soon be discontinuing this version of the Switch or the Switch altogether and releasing a new console because they always come out with a special Pokemon edition.
Yeah.
And then a month later,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
like, we don't do this.
We don't do this
console
anymore.
any longer.
Will's correct. They've done this multiple times. They're like, here's a Pokemon edition of a product. Here's a brand new console. Brand new console is like probably like an upgraded, slightly better processor kind of thing.
I want it. Are you running a contest? And if so, how can I cheat the contest?
Yeah, I mean, like, I've always given away Nintendo Switch near the release of a new Pokemon game. Those giveaways usually do really well. You know, I'm very happy to, like, give back to people who listen to the show or watch the Twitch streams or whatever. I don't know how hard or easy these will be to find. You know what's funny is, like, the Animal Crossing Switch was so hard to find, and now you can walk into a Target and they're literally everywhere. They're, like, not actually rare, but there was this weird artificial rarity when they first came out. Same with some of the Pokemon stuff. Like, the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee Switch was, again, really hard to find off the bat, and then at a certain point, I mean, that Switch is pretty old now, but you could walk into a Target and be like, oh, they have them in stock. Some Pokemon 3DSs were really hard to find, and then there was that Pokeball 2DS that they made. That was so easy to find. Like,
yeah, but the 2DS was bad.
The 2DS was bad plastic. I don't know how hard or easy this will be to find. I like it. I like purple. I like orange. I like the back. I just 99% of the time I'm touching my Switch, it's docked. I just don't use handheld mode ever. So, like, the feature of this is, like, the better screen, and I have no doubt it's better. I'm sure it looks great. I just don't use handheld mode.
I mean, I want it because it's a special edition, and I don't have an OLED, and there are occasional times when I use it out of the dock enough that I'm like, I don't have this version of the Switch. It is a special version, so I do want to buy it.
I don't think it's like the handheld mode. It's just if I'm going out of my house, I'm usually playing Pokemon Go or playing some like it's probably Pokemon Go or like maybe Masters if I'm sitting at like a coffee shop or something, right? Like if I'm at home and I'm not streaming and I want to play something, I want to like sit on my couch and put my feet up and play.
Yeah, but that's because due to the pandemic, we didn't have Saturday meetups where we all went to a Caribou and raided together.
I mean, yeah, I guess we could do that. But also,
We
even when
could.
I've played Unite a couple times in handheld mode, because I'm like, I
It's
just need to do the one match. It's bad because I think the Joy-Cons are bad compared
Yeah.
to the Pro Controller. Like, I would rather
Yeah.
just have a Pro Controller in my hands.
Also, my eyes are bad, and it's hard to see in this.
Yeah, I hate the Joy-Cons. I
They're very small, and I have small hands.
like literally on an airplane, I will set up my Switch like with the little kickstand and use a Pro Controller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to pack a Pro Controller.
Yeah.
So,
Worth. Question: Pokemon of the week.
all right. Last time, Pokemon of the Week referenced Friends of Dorothy can be received from a Pokemon professor in 8 different Pokemon games. We don't know if it's going to be in Scarlet and Violet, but we know competitively that it doesn't care about Covert Cloak because its hidden ability removes the secondary effect of moves that it uses anyways. I mean, Friends of Dorothy is really all you needed to hear.
I didn't write anything down, so
Friends of Dorothy. You know who's Dorothy?
I know.
It's Goldeen.
No. I want to say it's Squirtle, but it's not.
No, who is Dorothy's friend?
Because Dorothy's, well, which one?
Are we talking about Finding Nemo?
The only
No.
one that matters.
Toto?
Toto. Dial. Yes. Dang.
Totodile?
What other Dorothy? Oh, are you thinking of Golden Girls? I ain't no Golden Girls. I hate Golden Girls.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring it
I
up.
wish that thing never existed.
I said Finding Nemo.
So here's the thing. That's
Dory.
Oh,
Here's the thing. What threw me off was when you said friend of Dorothy's, and I'm like, okay, well, which is the most iconic gay Pokemon?
But Friends of Dorothy means who was the actress?
Ellen.
No.
Judy Garland?
Judy Garland. A friend of Dorothy means somebody who appreciates Judy Garland. That's why they're gay.
Yes. Yes, that's what friend of Dorothy in old gay slang was
Exactly.
referring to, that you were gay. So that's why I was thinking, okay, what are the canonically gay Pokemon that professors give out? And we know that the only Pokemon that has officially come out is Squirtle.
Squirtle. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, Ellen is gay.
It was totally
Yes.
Look,
Ellen is
there's
gay.
a lot of, I just
Still.
messed up Dory and Dorothy. I mean, there was things.
Look, we
whole
don't delve
process.
too deeply in the working of your mind for a reason.
There's no trivia for Totodile. I don't know
Well, the
why.
shuffle is great.
Really?
There's no
The
trivia.
shiny is great. It dances cute, but yeah, there's no trivia.
I'll give you some trivia. I was playing the Totodile Community Day at Mall of America, and mid-Community Day, it's not when Community Day was ending, I encountered a shiny Totodile, and I caught it. And when I caught it, the summary screen turned into a regular Natu. I still have this Natu.
How are you still on this?
Greg was there.
I was there, and How is this still a point of contention?
Because there was no trivia, so I had to give my own trivia.
All right. Here we go.
I'm going to look
You
it up.
ready?
I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah, I'm ready.
I thought I had done this one before, but I can't find a record of it. When building my shiny bug team, I purposefully fainted 50 of these a day on Route 8 to increase the shiny odds while also hatching 6 every day, ultimately battling 807 of them before finding a shiny. Unfortunately, because the lowest level it can be found at is 38, it didn't work well in my early journeys in Galar. It also took so many battles to raise its level, it evolved quite quickly after I finally could start using it. Now, years later, they are basically handing these shinies out in raids.
Totodile.
Save it!
You can't guess until next week.
Don't spoils. No spoilies.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, like, YouTube always needs some direction. Tell me, of the 3 new Pokemon, tell me which one you like the most in the comments. There's your homework. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, thank you. Or the dozen of other podcast apps that exist out there. There's a lot of them. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, you want to support the show, really easy way to do that is to leave a review in Apple Podcasts. Super helps out the show, especially as we lead up to Scarlet and Violet. If you want to take that support further, you can head over to patreon.com/PKMNcast, and you can support the show that way. You can get ad-free episodes. If you heard ads in this episode and you're like, oh, I'm sick of ads, you get ad-free episodes. You also get bonus episodes. And there's some other rewards you can get too as we lead up to Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet. I'll probably keep saying Sword and Shield for the next 3 months here. But anyways, if you want to follow Greg on Twitter, that is at White Wing. If you want to follow Will on Twitter at Washing the Sink, I'm at Dragging a Lake. Otherwise, PKMNcast on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, somewhere else, Twitter, somewhere else I can't think of. Otherwise, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are super. I don't know what I was about to say.
What were you? What is going on?
And the secret word is lotus seed paste.
Yeah.
We are super effective. I don't
Super
think I've ever said
effective.
the old
We're out.
tagline to my own show.
We're out. Cut. We're done.
I'm going to retire now.
Retirement now. 5:30. It was a good run, everybody. Bye.